Hello everyone, it's Paul here, back again with another video, albeit I am at the comfort of my own home rather than at the racetrack. So I'm here to explain my plans for the 2026 season as well as for the PFR racing team. But first, before I begin, I want to give a huge shout out to my friends at Super Clean. Super Clean is back for the 2026 season, and here I am cleaning a few carts. The Margay Ignite demo, they needed a little bit of love, not being on track for a while, so they needed to see the Super Clean difference. Luckily for all of my followers on here, I'm giving away more Super Cleans. So follow the rules below, comment, and I'll choose one random comment for your chance at some free Super Clean. Remember, you can purchase Super Clean at Menards, O'Reilly Auto Parts, Walmart. You can even purchase online with the Walmart app. I use it for a lot of everyday things, and I love the Super Clean difference. It's super easy and super fast. Super clean. Now for the video, I wanted to kick off by saying thank you to everyone who supported me, and I'm truly blessed to have all of your support. I never mentioned my life-changing moment on here, so I figured that I would give some insight to the ARCA Daytona test I did in January. While I've competed in many kart races over the span of 10 years, I've always wanted the opportunity to get behind the wheel of a race car. My friend Matt Kemp, who races in the ARCA Menard series, we both joked around and said, I should do the ARCA Daytona test. Why not? He made that huge jump from the Midwest Dwarf cars that he's won many races and championships in, and he made his debut at Flat Rock Speedway, a track that he's won many races at, and he was able to make his debut there, and he almost qualified on pole last year, which was crazy, especially for a fast track racing car that hasn't been done in years, and he did that. He walked me through on what that day would look like, and I've kicked around the idea for a few years, but I said this year, 2026, I was going to make that happen no matter what. We talked, and he advised I should talk to a few teams. The only team I ended up talking to was Fast Track Racing, owned by none other than 1995 ARCA champion Andy Hillenberg. I emailed him, and then he called me in the middle of one of my work shifts, and we chatted it up. And honestly, we hit it off really well. He's an old school guy, and I really embellished, the amount of things that he was able to tell me and everything that he said. He asked me a few questions, and up next after that would be getting ARCA's approval. With that, like 2 weeks later, they had a booth at PRI, and I was able to talk to a few people with the ARCA Menard series, and I acknowledged with them that, this is going to be a huge jump, going from karts to cars. And ultimately, I wanted just an opportunity to test. I know that realistically, I wouldn't be approved to race at the ARCA Daytona 200, but, an opportunity to get behind the wheel and see what it's all about. That's really what I wanted to do. I really needed some strong references, before getting approved. And luckily, Kemp's already a licensed driver in the ARCA Menard series. So boom, one box checked. The next is a driver that's raced at the Kartplex and now is absolutely killing it in the Porsche Carrera Cup North America series. And that was Scott Blind. He's an awesome guy. Love him to death. And then another guy I love, Keith Scharf. He is the man at the Kartplex, but he's also the man. He's won many, many races and championships, SCCA champion, and he's a part of the coveted Road Racers Drivers Club. Those references right there, I had to give them some love and talk about their accomplishments, because without those references, I'm not telling this story today. Daytona Kart Week passes, and it's about a week until I'm back at Daytona for the test. I rush delivered all of the gear that I needed, such as the head sock and the socks and underwear and everything. And then before you know it, I make the 14-hour drive from St. Louis to Daytona. Super nervous for all of it, but Kemp gave me some good pointers, and then I reached out to Ryan Vargas, who was also doing the test, and he gave me some really great advice. I really got to thank him for him telling me, it's going to be one of the easiest days you have behind the wheel. Just soak it all in, take it all in. It'll be fine. It'll be great. And honestly, I'm really glad I took that advice from him because I was so freaking nervous. So I got there the next day, went to credentials, got my wristband, and then I got to the track as soon as the gates opened. Got all of my equipment checked, and unfortunately I made a rookie mistake. The Hans device that I had was not approved for ARCA. It was the Pro Ultra Light. It was not approved for ARCA, so the light versions are not legal. So with that embarrassment out of the way, luckily Matt Kemp was there and he let me use his Simpson hybrid device, which actually ended up working for me better. I really like how that felt around me, and now I'm trying to buy one. After that, everything's all said and done. Take a look at the car that I'd be driving, and I was the third driver in the rotation. So driver's meeting came up. That all felt surreal. Cletus, huge guy, by the way. I can't believe how tall he is. He's walking up, shaking everybody's hand. I thought that was crazy. And then after that, driver's meeting was all said and done, and we all headed to the pit road because they had the rookie ride-alongs. And who else to chauffeur you around the track other than 10-time ARCA champion Frank Kimmel going 110 in a Toyota Sienna? Like, that's sketchy, but that was cool. After that, headed back to the garage. Ed Pompa was the first driver to shake down that number 10 car. And then the next driver was Trent Curtis. The crazy thing about Trent Curtis is we both race in the same iRacing league. And I had no idea. I hadn't actually raced in that league for a while, but it's called Solstice Racing. And I noticed that we had a mutual friend, Chad Micus, and I put 2 and 2 together, and it was crazy. So, small world. So after he's done, it's my time. So I get ready, I put my suit on, hop in, fire it up, and then boom, I stall it like 6,000 times, I felt like, in my head. I finally figure it out. I get going. Long first gear, so got to get your spoiler checked first by ARCA Menards officials, and then I'm rolling. My foot's flat on the floor going down the backstretch heading into turn 3, and man, I tell you, that was the best experience that I've ever had. Heading into 3, knowing the car is just knowing the G-forces are gonna push you down, and you just pushing the car through the corner. It felt amazing, and those opening laps were just so surreal. I did about 10 laps. They had me go high, middle, first 10 laps, and then we ended up going back to the garage. My crew chief, Dick Doheny, was incredible with his information, pointing me in the right direction, knowing that, I'm a little inexperienced, but he told me I just needed to follow those directions and get going in the right one, honestly. We had to change a battery for my second stint, but I went out for another 10 laps, but unfortunately, this stint was interrupted by a crash on track with the 52 car, and I ended up stopped on pit road, and I was stopped on pit road right behind Isabella Robusto, which was crazy to me. That was oh, hell, I made it. Isabella's a really good prospect for the Toyota team, Nitro Motorsports. It's awesome sharing a track with someone of that caliber, and I was like, wow, that is awesome. But anyways, got back on track, started doing the low line now, almost like my qualifying runs, I would say. Didn't have the car taped up, but we just went high, couple laps, and then went swing down the tri-oval and went low. Felt amazing. It felt natural, honestly. I did about 30 laps, and then I was done. By the time I climbed out of the car, I was super happy, but also a little tired because I haven't felt that sensation in my body probably ever. So after I was done, I thanked the crew, Dick, Andy, my spotter John up on the spotter stand. They were all super informative and awesome. Also had to thank, Gavin Newton with Running Racing Designs. He did a lot of the photography and videography. It's crazy how we linked up because he used to watch my stop motions as a kid. Honestly, that's the best compliment I could get. Like, hey, I watched your stop motions when I was little. Like, that's just crazy to me. So finally, I had to thank Matt Kemp too. He babysat me the entire time, just kind of telling me how the day is going to be, but pretty level-headed, and we just talked racing for the rest of the days. And I just thought, man, what an awesome experience. And it probably would have never happened had I not had a conversation with him. So I really have to thank him for all of that. What's next? While I'm approved now for short tracks and road courses, I still need some more intermediate and big car experience, honestly. The kart always helps with, quick reaction time, but there's nothing like the big cars. So sponsorship pending. I hope to race a lot this year in bigger and intermediate cars, whether it be Legends cars or late model stock or something like that. And ultimately, my goal in the next 2 years, if not this year, the next year, would be making my debut in the ARCA series. So really got to work hard at it, really got to learn as much as possible. It's not going to be a quick jump. So I'm just ready to soak it all in and go all in on this racing deal. So one final thing before I close it out, I'm super, super grateful to all of you for the support. My Motorsports Adventures videos, I'll be honest, it's kind of been like we'll see what happens next. Like, I don't really explain much in it, and I kind of rush through it. But this year, it'll be a little bit more in-depth, and I'm looking forward to giving you guys some more content as far as racing goes. I'll be at Hickory next week for the ARCA series. I'm not driving, but I'll be there. Truly thankful to everyone with the ARCA series, Charles, Bobby, Liam, everybody that was super nice to me. I also have to thank Andy Hillenberg a lot for his trust in me, and Matt Kemp too, I've thanked him like 30 times in this video, but my references, everyone at the Kartplex for the support. Like, I got so many messages that I honestly haven't read through them all. So I'm a little bad with messages, but nonetheless, I'm super grateful for all of the support. I look forward to all this racing adventure and actually making this my motorsports adventure. So thank you all for watching, and hope to see you at the track.